Well, I'm no longer in Russia, and this is my story. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. For obvious reasons, I will not be mentioning the exact places where I've been or where I am right now, but I will try to stick to the original story as close as possible, and at the same time I will give you my own ideas, I would say explanations, how I personally think about this whole situation. And to get the first and probably one of the most popular questions out of the way, no, I did not leave Russia when this war started or whenever even this partial mobilization was announced. I left long before that, when things were still normal, if you wanna call it that way. To begin with, let's transport, I guess, all the way to the beginning of this story. When in my early 20s, I decided to go to study in the US, and I had the slightest hopes of staying in the country, and I guess, as you can see right now, I was not able to do it. But fast forward to several years later, I did end up getting my MBA in finance. Yes, I did try to stay legally, obviously, in the country, to become a green card holder, more commonly known as the permanent resident in America. But you know what, even getting the working visa was, as you can see, close to impossible. The US is also the place where I met my future wife, and since she is also not American, so in order for us to stay together, we had to find another country where we can immigrate. And basically that's how the idea to come to Canada was born. We got our residency here in Canada through so-called express entry, and basically what it means is that if you have a university degree, a couple of years of work experience, and if you pass the English test relatively good, Canada is just more than welcome to accept you as their new permanent resident. And well, as you can see, we both succeeded, and finally, after several years of struggle, not knowing what's going to happen next year or even next month, we finally achieved some sort of stability. So I mean, yeah, what's up, fellow Canadians? And as you can see, we do not live in igloos. That's confirmed. But okay, let's get back to Russia. So the last time I was able to visit my friends or even some of my relatives was more than 4 years ago at this point. Some of them got married, some of them even got kids, and unfortunately, I missed all of it. And to be honest, I can go back, yes, nothing restricts me from doing this. But the question is, will I be able to return? And I do love my country. Please do not mistake it with loving your government, because these are two completely different things. And after this war started back in February 2022, I wanted to at least in some way help my country. And so that's why I switched from making personal finance and investing related videos to these Russian-Ukrainian updates. And besides obviously updating you guys on the most recent events in this, let's call it okay, special military operation, one of the main goals of the purposes of my work was to show at least some of you that not every single Russian is a bad person. Being Russian does not mean that we unconditionally support the decisions of our government. So for this reason, whenever I say that Russia attacked Ukraine or Russia did this bad thing or Russia did that bad thing, I mainly relate to the government of Russia and its military. Because there are millions of Russians who are strongly against this war, and it's just simply unfair to treat them equally bad. Am I risking in some way to continue doing whatever I'm doing right now? Yes. Do I have some second thoughts from time to time? Absolutely. But if every single one of us is going to always remain silent and do nothing, the things will simply not change. And the ones who are satisfied with everything that's happening inside and outside of Russia are viewed and portrayed by the Russian propaganda as the real Russian patriots. They don't ask questions, they listen and obey. The government of Russia tells them exactly what and how to do things, and even if they have some sort of complaints, they will just always prefer to keep it to themselves and just suppress it inside their minds. But on the other hand, people who want things to be different, and I mean, why would you want things to be worse? If you want things to be different, it obviously means you want it to be better, right? But according to the Russian propaganda, these people are viewed as radicals, protesters, and people who are just not worth living in the society, so let's just put them in jail. Or to be honest, there is even a special name for such people created by the Russian government, and if you never heard it, it's called the foreign agent. And these are basically the people who were sent by the West to infiltrate Russia and destroy it from the inside. Obviously all of this according to Russian propaganda, however ridiculous it sounds. And these so-called foreign agents are usually the musicians, actors, influencers, YouTubers, or basically just any public figure who decides to express their own opinion different from the opinion of the state. And so yeah, I left Russia and the politics made my very own home to feel very unwelcoming. I haven't seen my friends or the majority of my relatives in a very long time, and I missed such lifelong opportunities, the ones that happen only once in every person's life, such as my sister's wedding. These are the things, like mentioned previously, you only go once in your entire life. And am I a bad person, according to the Russian government, to wish for things to get better or at least normal once again? And so pretty much yes, if you want to continue following my story throughout this week of special episodes, just please subscribe to my channel, and thanks so much for your attention and see you tomorrow.